Hello mga ka-Johnny! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Sir Robinson Ipulan, your partner in learning mathematics. Before you proceed in this video, do not forget to click the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if my video helps you.
So hello once again everyone. Hello mga ka-Johnny. Welcome back to my next video. This video is called Parabola Learning the Standard Form. Okay, so in this video we will get to know how are we going to name the parabola using the standard form. And before you proceed in this video, I do hope that you watch my first video entitled Parabola, getting to know more about parabola, because understanding this video is way better if you watch my previous video. Okay, so without further ado, let's try to get to know more about parabola. We all know that parabola is a U-shaped form. Okay, it is just like a U-shaped form with a particular part that are very necessary. So in a parabola, we have different direction of our parabola, ladies and gentlemen. We have a parabola going upward. We have a parabola going downward. We have also parabola going to the left. We have also parabola going to the right. Okay, so these are the different direction of a parabola. As you can observe, we have four direction of our parabola, and it only says that we have four standard form that we need to familiarize. Okay, again and again, we have four standard form that we have to realize. Unlike circle in my previous videos, we only need to familiarize one standard form for circle, because there is only one direction of a circle. That is, you even though you turn it upside down, even if you turn it to the left and to the right, there is only one direction of a circle. But unlike parabola, since parabola is a U-shaped like, uh, meaning we have different direction, and that different direction of our parabola will determine or will help us will help no no will give us this different form or different standard form of our parabola. Again, what are the direction of our parabola? Going upward, going downward, going sidewards, and going to the left and right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so let's try to get to know more about the standard form of our parabola, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so let's have a space here. Let's try to get to know about the standard form. The standard form of our parabola going upward and downward. Okay, going upward and downward, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so for the for the standard form going upward and downward, we have first to remember this important characteristic. For our v, again v here is our vertex, and our in our parabola, v is in the form of h and k. So meaning the coordinate of our v is h and k. Unlike circle, that h and k is the representation of the center of the circle. But here in parabola, h and k is the vertex of parabola, or the turning point of parabola. You have to remember that one. Okay, so let's try to get to know more about the standard form going upward and downward. Okay, so parabola facing upward just like this, and facing downward just like this. So what is the standard form of your parabola considering this considering this facing of our parabola? So if happen that you encounter this parabola going upward and downward, you have to remember this standard form, that is in the form of x minus h squared is equal to 4p y minus k. Okay, so this is now the standard form of our parabola going upward and downward. You have to remember this one. How are you going to identify if the parabola is going upward or going downward? As you can observe here, only the x variable is being raised to the power of 2. but y variable is not raised to the power of 2. In short, if x variable is being squared and y is not, automatically your parabola is either facing upward or facing downward. Okay, am I clear for that one? So how about the parabola going sidewards? Okay, so let's try to get to know it. So this is now the standard form. This is the standard form of our parabola facing to the left and right. Facing to the left and right. So you have to remember this one, ladies and gentlemen. So when I say facing to the left, so your parabola face to the left, and you have also parabola facing to the right. So how are we going to identify if the parabola is either facing to the left and facing to the right? So this is now the standard form of our parabola. Same thing, that your h and k here is the vertex of your parabola. So it will become now y minus k squared is equal to 4p times x minus h. Okay, so again, this is the standard form of your parabola facing to the left and to the right. Okay, so how are you going to identify if your parabola is either facing to the left and right? Simply, your y now here is being squared. As you can observe here, that your y variable is raised to the power of 2, while your x variable is not raised to the power of 2. If that happens, that your y variable is raised to the power of 2 and your x is not raised to the power of 2, your parabola is either facing to the left and to the right. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to remember that one. That's the thing that you have to familiarize in knowing where your parabola is facing, either facing upward or downward, or facing left and to the right, ladies and gentlemen. So you have to get to know this one. Okay, so that's how you identify, ladies and gentlemen, the opening of your parabola. Again, if it is facing either upward or downward, obviously your x variable here is being raised to the power of 2, while y variable is not raised to the power of 2. While if your parabola is facing either to the left and right, obviously your y variable is being raised to the power of 2, and now the x variable is not raised to the power of 2. That's the easiest thing to remember in identifying the opening of your parabola, ladies and gentlemen. Same thing, ladies and gentlemen, that your h and k here is not anymore the center, but that is the vertex. That is the vertex of your parabola. Same thing with circle. Whoever beside x, that is always the h. Whoever beside y, that is always the k. So same thing, that you have to remember that hk is still the coordinate of x and y. Okay, so now we already mastered how to identify if it is opening upward or downward, or left and right. Of course, there's no parabola that is opening on both of the direction. Okay, so let's begin with opening upward and downward. From this standard form, how am I going to know? How am I going to know if it is upward or downward? So let's begin with upward and downward, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's zoom this one out. Okay, so but before that, as you can observe here, I write here for P. Okay, what is P here? P here will identify your latus rectum. As I told in my previous video, latus rectum is the opening of your parabola, and that is parallel to your fixed line directrix, ladies and gentlemen. So same thing here, you have 4p. This 4p, that is your latus rectum. Okay, that is your latus rectum. So it will identify the opening of your parabola. Why am I keep on emphasizing this 4p as the opening of the parabola? Because 4p, in that 4p, it will help you identify where your parabola opens, upward or downward. Okay, so if your x minus h squared is equal to 4p and y minus k. So obviously, this equation either opening upward and downward. If your 4p here, if your 4p here is positive, automatically your parabola opens upward. Otherwise, if your, let me move this one, maybe you cannot see it. Okay, so here you go. Again, in this form, if your 4p, if x is being squared, again, either upward or downward. But if your 4p is positive, the sign is positive, automatically it opens upward. Otherwise, if your 4p is negative, it opens downward. So if your x is being squared and your 4p is negative, y minus k, as you can observe here, your 4p here is negative. If your 4p is negative and your x is being squared, automatically, ladies and gentlemen, your parabola opens downward. Okay, here you go. That's how you identify. Again, if your x is being squared, either your parabola opens upward or downward. If your 4p is positive, it opens upward. If your 4p is negative, it opens downwards. It is just look like this. So it opens upward if your 4p is positive, and it opens downward if your 4p is negative, ladies and gentlemen. So that's how easy we observe the standard form of our parabola by observing it in our mirror inspection. Okay, by just mirror inspection, we can easily identify where is the opening of our parabola. Okay, so that is for parabola opening upward and downward. So let's try to get to know about to the left and to the right. Again and again, how are we going to identify if it is parabola opening to the left or to the right? So if your y is being squared and x is not, automatically your parabola either opens upward, left or right. Okay, same thing for 4p here. 4p, this will identify, or this will help you identify the opening. How wide is the opening of the parabola? Okay, so if ever that your 4p is positive, I have you y minus k squared is equal to positive 4p and x minus h. If your 4p is positive, your parabola opens to the right. Okay, so meaning, again, if your y is squared, either left or right, but if your 4p is positive, automatically your parabola opens to the right. Okay, that's how you remember that one. Okay, so otherwise, if your parabola, if the 4p of this standard form is negative, meaning it opens to the left. Okay, so y minus k squared, and your 4p is negative, it will become negative 4p x minus h. So automatically, your parabola opens. Exactly, it opens to, I know, wrong. It opens to the left, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so again and again, how are you going to identify if it is to the left or to the right if y is being squared? And how are you going to know if it is right or left? If your 4p is positive, automatically it opens the right. If your 4p is negative, automatically it opens to the left. That's how easy, ladies and gentlemen, in identifying the opening of our parabola by observing in our standard form. We can easily identify the opening of our parabola, either upward, downward, sidewards, or to the right and to the left, ladies and gentlemen. So As you can observe, we have four standard form that we have to remember, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that this video helps you in identifying the opening of the parabola. Okay, so again, this is Sir John Robinson Ipulan, your partner learning mathematics. I do hope that you learn a lot in this video. If this video helps you, do not forget to click the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up if my video helps you. Okay, see you in my next video. Bye-bye!